Hello friends, hello students. In last video, we have reached up to this point to how to form a governing equation of a conduction. The governing equation is formed by the Fourier's law of heat conduction. Before learning the governing equation, we will see on how many parameters the conduction heat transfer rate by conduction depends. There are three different parameters. One is the geometrical parameter, second is a material property, third is a temperature property. In geometrical parameter, it is there are two aspects. One is the area which is perpendicular to heat. Suppose this is the wall through which heat is being transferred. Okay, through which the heat is being transferred. That we have to see. This is the direction in which heat is being transferred, and this surface of wall. Suppose this is the width of the wall, and the surface of the wall is perpendicular to this direction. Means you are perpendicular to your screen. Okay, whatever screen you are watching, that perpendicular to that screen, suppose that wall is there, and area of this wall is nothing but given by a. Suppose this is the height of the wall, and suppose the length is perpendicular to this screen, then height into length is nothing but this area. If this area is more, then there will be the more and more heat transfer. If there is this area is less, then heat transfer will be less. Means we can say that indirectly that heat transfer is directly proportional to this area. And now this is the delta. This is the thickness of the wall. If this thickness of the wall increases, then definitely the heat transfer will be less. If the thickness is reduces, then heat transfer will be more. Okay. Um, Hence we can say that the heat transfer rate is inversely proportional to this thickness of the wall or width of the wall. Okay. Next is the material of this wall. If suppose now normal wall is made of mixture of cement concrete brick. Okay, it is having somewhat thermal conductivity, but instead of that, if suppose we use a copper or steel wall, then definitely the thermal conductivity will be more, heat transfer rate will be more, heat transfer rate will be more as the thermal conductivity of the copper and steel is more. Hence we can say that as the K increases, thermal conductivity of wall increases, then the heat transfer rate increases. Next is the temperature difference. Obviously, when there is more temperature difference, then will be the more heat transfer rate. When there is less temperature difference, there will be less heat transfer rate. By studying this, then we can combine this all the aspects, and we can combine that into a one equation. Here, the heat transfer rate directly proportional to the area into temperature difference upon the thickness of the wall. Okay. Now, if you replace this proportionality symbol by thermal conductivity, then we can write the Fourier's law of heat conduction by formula Q is equal to small k into area into delta T upon delta X. Okay. Now, here this is the thermal conductivity. This is the area perpendicular to the screen. This is the temperature difference, and this is the width of the wall. Okay. On these aspects, the heat transfer rate depends, where K is the thermal conductivity. Now we will find the unit of thermal conductivity. Again, for that we have to move to the Fourier law of heat conduction. From this we can say that what is the unit of Q? Unit of Q is watt. Unit of area is meter square. Unit of delta T is how much? It is the temperature difference. It can be degree centigrade or Kelvin, whatever. And this is the delta X, means its unit is meter. Okay. See, unit of all the terms I have written here. And if you want to find the now unit of K, then just replace all the terms on the left side, then you will get the unit of thermal conductivity, that is watt per meter per degree centigrade. If you taken the difference in Kelvin, then it will be Kelvin, but its effect is not, it is whatever you take, it will not affect the thermal conductivity value, both are same. Okay, either you take degree centigrade or degree Kelvin, sorry, Kelvin, then also the value of thermal conductivity will not change. Now this is the range of thermal conductivity for different material. Now see, on y-axis there is a thermal conductivity values from 0.01 to 1000, and on x-axis there are the different materials. Now see, uh, suppose we will see the range of, this is the range of particular group. Suppose this group is for non-metallic crystal, then the range of thermal conductivity varies from more than thousands. See, this is the line of 1000, means this is going above, means range of thermal conductivity is more than 1000 up to this near about 10. Okay, for pure metals its range is varying from, suppose this is a 500 to 10, and for metallic alloys again it is near about 120 or 150 to 10 or less than 10. And this is the non-metallic solids, range of liquids, insulator and gases. Now carefully observe here, these are the solids, again this is the liquid and this is the gas, means the thermal conductivity will be there in liquids as well as gases and obviously solids. Okay, means don't, you should not be having any misconception that there is no thermal conductivity in case of liquids and gases. There is, thermal conductivity is present for all the fluids, whatever solid, liquids or gases, but its value will be varying. It is less for gases, it's middle for liquids, and high, obviously high for solids. Now among the solids, it is higher for metals, less for non-metals, and it is very high for pure crystalline solid, just like a diamond, graphite, like that. Okay, wait a minute. This is, in these slides, you are watching that this is the thermal conductivity values for different material. Just now we have seen that for diamond, thermal conductivity value is more, hence the value of diamond, thermal conductivity of diamond is 2300, then copper 385 approximately. This is for normal temperature. Okay, yeah, if temperature changes, then thermal conductivity value also changes. That also depends upon the temperature of the object. Aluminium, brass and steel. If steel is having less thermal conductivity as compared to copper, hence copper is more costly. We are using copper in case of as a conductive material. It is also good electrical as well as thermal conductor. Hence it is used in electrical wire as well as thermal, for thermal transfer of heat. And see, this is the, once you can see an example of wood and steel in both the hands you keep. Then if the, you are transferring heat from this side, same value of heat you are transferring, but you will feel more heated for on left side, because in left side you are having, you are you have hold the steel bar, and on the right side you have hold the wooden bar. Hence the on right side you will feel not, will not feel that much of heated, but on the left side you will feel more heated. Okay. Okay, and this is the last slide in which we are making analogy between the electrical as well as thermal resistance. Okay, electrical resistance we have already studied. We know that Ohm's law is nothing but potential difference is equal to current into resistance, electrical resistance. Okay, this is the another way of writing that Ohm's law. Current is equal to, it is the reciprocal of ratio of delta V to R, electrical resistance. Now This formula we have seen. Okay, I will go to the previous slide. See, this is the formula for Q. Okay, now see, this is the formula for Q. Now this Q you can also write as heat transfer. Q can also be written as delta T. And if you have to only you have to keep delta T on the numerator and shift this into the denominator. It will not go to this, but it will divide the delta X. Hence your heat transfer rate Q will be given by like this. Q will be delta T, temperature difference, delta X upon K into A. Okay, K and A will shift to the bottom side. Okay, hence if you compare these two equations, this is the temperature difference, this is the potential difference, this is the current, this is the heat transfer rate. Hence this electrical resistance is analogous to the, in this term you will represent one resistance, and that is nothing but thermal resistance. Similar to the electrical resistance, we can draw a sketch here. This is the sketch of resistance. From here we know that the current is flowing, and this is high voltage, this is the voltage. Similar to that, heat is being flowing from a this resistance, thermal resistance, and from high temperature to low temperature. And this is the value of thermal resistance, delta L by K or delta X by K. Okay. Um, this much is sufficient for today's lecture. We will see the further part in the next video. Okay, thank you.